Welcome to the start of the 15th season of Mickey Thompson Stadium Off-Road Racing. It's next on ESPN. You're looking at the remains of when the earth shook Southern California just a few weeks ago. We're at the Big A in Anaheim, California. We're a little late getting the 1994 season started, but we're here for round number 1 of the Mickey Thompson Stadium Off-Road Racing Series. We're ready for the main event now in Grand National Sport Truck action, round number 1 here at Anaheim Stadium at the Big A. Temperature in the 50s, but the temperature on the track is extremely hot. Points are what we're talking about here. Let's take a look at the starting grid. In the front row, it'll be Rick Johnson alongside of Roger Mears. Then Danny Thompson in the Ford alongside the Toyota of Rod Millen. Rob McCachran in the other Ford against the other Toyota, Ivan Stewart in row 3. Then Roger Mears Jr. and Jimmy Johnson, a Nissan and a Chevrolet, round out our 8-vehicle field. Stand by for action. We're ready to go in Grand National Sport Trucks. You want to pick a winner, Walker?
Well, that's going to be tough, I'll tell you right now. I want to see Rob McCachran. I think he can come in there good. Look where he's at.
I think Rob McCachran is the man. He's in front of both the Toyotas.
Well.
And he just hung himself on the Hydra barrier.
Yep.
Took the corner too closely. He gets nailed into the Hydra barrier. Another unfortunate mistake for Rob McCachran. He now finds himself next to last. It opens the door for Rick Johnson. Remember now, he won here last year in the mud at Anaheim. It was a torrential downpour. 50,000 fans braved the elements, and they saw a great show as Ivan Stewart and Rick Johnson dueled it out. Right now, their second place coming into view. That's the number 8 of Danny Thompson alongside the Nissan of Roger Mears Jr., and behind him is the number 4 of Ivan Stewart. So that rounds out your top 4. And right now, Ricky Johnson's taking advantage of the mistake by Rob McCachran early, which tied up everybody else, and he's got about a 7 truck length lead.
Well, he is driving really good right now. He's got a nice little lead. I think he realizes that. All he has to do is concentrate straight out the front windshield.
You know, I talked to their team. Now, John Nelson, the team owner, said, how many hours of testing have you done? He said, oh, golly, at least 1,000 laps. Went over to the Ford team, Jim Venable and Nye Frank, the crew chief, and they're running in second place right now with Danny Thompson. I said, how many laps? He says, oh, somewhere between 750 and 1,000. I mean, these guys have done some serious testing. They want to take this manufacturer's trophy away from Toyota. Toyota's won it 10 of 11 years. There is Ivan Stewart. That's a look from outside. There's a look inside. You know this feeling very well.
Well, I certainly do. Believe me, he's kind of getting bounced around.
Is there anybody else more fierce in the cockpit than Ivan Stewart?
No, he definitely is. Once he gets his mindset, he gets a little bit of fresh air. Oh, it's hard to run down.
Well, as the camera turns and looks out the front, you get a view of Rob McCachran right in front of Ivan Stewart, or I should say Danny Thompson in front of Ivan Stewart. Ivan now running in third position. It is Rick Johnson. You're still on board with Ivan. Rick Johnson first. Second place, Danny Thompson is aboard the Toyota of Ivan Stewart.
Let's have a look at Rob McCachran. He's on the move.
McCachran is battling for fourth right now. There you see him with the number 6 of Roger Mears Jr. There are still 8 laps remaining, so plenty of time for McCachran to get back into this, especially if we would get a full course yellow and he can pick up one position, and he may do it right here. Let's watch them as they go through the AB lane. McCachran in the blue and white Venable Racing Ford. Oh, and Ivan Stewart takes a left turn into the Hydro barrier. Something broke.
Something had to break.
That's what it looks like from the inboard Ford camera. Right now, what that means is that it is Ricky Johnson first, Danny Thompson second, Roger Mears Jr. third. Rod Millen has moved into fourth ahead of Rob McCachran. McCachran got hung out to dry during all that excitement and lost a position to Rod Millen. This man right here, Ricky Johnson, is running away from this field. Now, this guy has won more motocross championships than anybody else. He came out last year, first race of the season here at Anaheim, stood everybody on their ear in the mud. finished second in the points to Rod Millen, and he has basically said, we're going to do two things. We want to win a manufacturer's championship for Chevrolet, and then we want to win the driver's championship for guess who?
Well, he certainly is putting a nice drive together right now. But that's what you can do when you're out front, when you only have to look through the front windshield. You don't hear anybody around you. You can drive your own race.
We're going to take a look at Ivan's crash from on board. Let's see what happens. All of a sudden, up over the jump.
He's doing fine so far. Well, the car just hiked up, and he had to catch it, so he had to turn into the barrier.
So he got it up on the bicycle, put it on two wheels, and it cost him dearly.
And now we got one upside down.
And this could bring out the full course yellow. It was the number 6 of Roger Mears Jr. This would be the one break that Danny Thompson would need if they slow this race down and tighten them up. There's more Stadium Off-Road Racing from Anaheim, California, right after this. Marty Reed and Walker Evans back with you at Anaheim Stadium, the Big A in Anaheim, California. Ricky Johnson, with about 4 laps remaining, has a full straightaway lead over second place. Danny Thompson in the Venable Racing Ford. Rob McCachran has managed to move up to 3rd place, however. Take a look at this crash one more time. Millen gets into a little bit on the side. Yes, there's contact between the 3 of them, and the loser in that deal is Roger Mears Jr. Would you call that rough driving?
No, I really wouldn't. The contact took place in the air, and it was just like we're going for this corner, both guys.
It looked like everybody's wheels were pretty much pointing straight also.
They really were. It did not look deliberate.
So the guy who really benefits from that is Rob McCachran. He moves all the way up to 3rd. We've now got 3 laps remaining. It's Ricky Johnson first. Then well back in second is Danny Thompson in the Ford. And then the teammate of Danny, Rob McCachran, pulling up 3rd.
Look where the 2 Toyotas are running.
Yeah, they're battling for each other well back into the pack. In fact, they are running about 6th, 5th, and 6th.
Well, I could have never called that.
Well, we had a little bit of contact that I don't think anybody expected either, but right now we're coming up to 2 laps remaining for your leader, Ricky Johnson. Second place is the number 8 of Danny Thompson, and Rob McCachran is catching his teammate. McCachran is catching his teammate as they go down through turn number 1.
We've got 2 laps to go. I don't know. Maybe there's time for Rob to get up there and slide it right on by Danny.
I think Rob may catch Danny. I don't think there's anybody that's going to catch that man, Ricky Johnson. Rick has just driven a superb race. He had a horrible heat race in the second heat. Remember, he never even made it to the finish line. Here's the battle with the white flag out. We'll keep you posted as you look at the battle for 2nd and 3rd. That's Danny Thompson in front of Rob McCachran. Now we're back up front, turn number 3, final lap for Ricky Johnson in Chevy Thunder.
You know, the track has gotten a lot rougher. These cars are hiking. They're sliding a little wide on the corners.
We can tell you as you look at our race leader, it's nose to tail between the 2 Fords for 2nd and 3rd. McCachran closing down.
Millen has a right front flat.
Look here now as we come around the last time. This will be your winner in round number 1. He does it for 2 years in a row at Anaheim. Ricky Johnson takes a checkered flag. Here's the battle for 2nd place. It's Danny Thompson. And Rob McCachran got around him while we were watching Ricky. So McCachran comes back with a fine 2nd place effort. 3rd place goes to Danny Thompson. 4th will go to Roger Mears Sr. And 5th to Jimmy Johnson in the other Chevrolet. Ivan Stewart comes home in 6th. And Rod Millen limps home in 7th place. We may be in your area, and if we are, we sure want to see you out Saturday, March 12th at the Kingdome in Seattle, Washington, and Saturday, June 18th, we'll be at Rice Stadium, Salt Lake City, Utah, our 2nd visit to Salt Lake. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll talk to that man, your winner in Anaheim. Do you think he loves it? You bet. National Sport Truck action. Rick Johnson makes it 2 years in a row at Anaheim. Rob McCachran comes home 2nd. Danny Thompson 3rd. Roger Mears in 4th. Then in 5th, it's Jimmy Johnson, Ivan Stewart, Rod Millen, and Roger Mears Jr. rounding out the 8-vehicle field. There's action down in the pits. Let's go to Mike Anson. Mike?
All right, Ricky Johnson, back-to-back wins. You started off in Anaheim last year. You did this year. You made it look easy.
Well, hey, it's the guy standing behind me, Chevrolet and the Nelson & Nelson team. They gave me a truck that, you know, I feel it was an unfair advantage. You know, I just had to go out there and just drive my own pace. I was fortunate enough with the brakes that I had to start in the front row, and I got to get away from all the mayhem of people running into each other to where I could just run my own pace. So, hey, it worked out.
How'd you like the track out there? Room enough to pass?
Well, I didn't have to pass anybody in the main event. I took the split lane and came out in front. But yeah, in the first heat, I did a lot of passing, and the track was really good. It was soft, and it was soft in some spots, slick in others, and it was also fast and technical. So it had something for every truck out there. It wasn't just, say, a fast track or a technical track, which sometimes they get. So it was great.
Congratulations. Great job.
Thanks.
When we take a look at the drivers' point standings, you'll see why consistency counts. Despite the big victory, Rick Johnson finds himself in 4th place, 20 points behind Rob McCachran after round number 1. Ivan Stewart and Danny Thompson squeezed in between those two. In the manufacturers' battle, Ford on top of Toyota, 111-92. Let's go down to Mike Anson in the pits.
All right, an exciting end to the kickoff for the 1994 season of the Mickey Thompson Stadium Off-Road Series. Ricky Johnson taking the big Grand National win. Looks like it's going to be a great season. Looking forward to San Diego. Marty Walker, back to you in the booth.
The Mickey Thompson Stadium Off-Road Anaheim event has been brought to you by Toyota and their full line of quality cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. Well, don't forget, our next television appearance with the Mickey Thompson Stadium Off-Road Racing Tour is Jack Murphy Stadium, San Diego, California. We'll be on the air Saturday, March 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Saturday, March 27th. That'll be round 2 of the Mickey Thompson Stadium Off-Road Racing Tour. For Mike Anson down the pits and Walker Evans, I'm Marty Reed. Thanks for joining us in round number 1 of the Mickey Thompson Stadium Off-Road Racing Series. We'll see you next time we go racing on ESPN's Speed World.